Alright guys, so this video is a very specific species-based video. One particular genus, one particular species. This is essentially going to be a keeper's notes because this tarantula is not very common yet so far in the hobby, and not a lot is known about its care and things like that besides its origin and stuff. Not much is known about it. I'm one of few keepers here on YouTube that has this particular tarantula, so I'm hoping to contribute to the community of knowledge on this thing and just help new keepers or whatever, and help the rest of us as we start to learn about keeping these guys. What are the best ways to keep them and all that. This is one that we have not seen for a while. We saw this guy probably 2 weeks after I unboxed it. I believe we had a feeding video on it. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. And then after that, it burrowed down underneath this piece of cork bark and closed off this front entrance. As it was burrowing underneath, it closed off that front entrance. And then it had one entrance open right there, where a mealworm or whatever would start to crawl face down in there, and then it would just instantly vanish. You never saw legs, you never saw anything. So I've seen this one feed, but I've not seen it much. This is a quick one. This is supposed to be a pretty chilled species, we'll see. And if I'm not mistaken, this is supposed to be one of the few New World dwarf species. But now what we're going to try to do is feed it, and let's see if we can get views of it on camera here, because we haven't seen this one in a long time, guys. Might have dropped that a little far away. Let's see what I can do here. Still too far away. Well, I've got to say, so far I'm kind of surprised. There we go. Yes, there we go. Woo! There we go, guys. This is the Bonnetina cyaneifemur, or the common name for this one, the Mexican Blue Femur. It looks a lot like a Cereopagopus, or was it Cereocosmus, excuse me, like the Litsi and Dorii and all those. I believe, like I said, this is a dwarf species. That's the first time we've seen it eat since the one feeding we gave it, probably a week after we unboxed it. It has stayed hidden down in there until about a week ago, where I started noticing a little bit of a peephole in the crap in the front. So I got to messing with it and kind of broke it up. But that one back there has pretty much been open the whole time. And today is when I noticed that this little guy was actually out of its burrow and wandering around. I can't even keep up with it. I was kind of surprised with that, because it had been 3 or 4 weeks that, it's going for a walkabout. It's going for a walkabout. Oh, get back in there. Oh, it's going for a walkabout. This is quite a surprise, because this thing was so secretive for at least 3 weeks there. Hold on, guys. Let me get this thing under control a little bit, because it is starting to walk. Really wish I could get video of this to show you how to handle these guys. Anyhow, the whole time that little rascal had the worm in its fangs. Okay, guys, I'm gonna have to pause this for you. Okay, guys, so we got hopefully a decent view of it before it started running all over the place. I got it back in its enclosure. It went down in that front entrance, so let's drop the worm down in there. Not the water dish, but in front of the entrance, and see if we can't convince it to come out and eat for us. Hopefully you guys got a pretty decent view of it before it started getting kind of flighty on me there. As I mentioned, this one's still pretty rare in the hobby as far as like documenting care and everything. You can see basic setup. There was a piece of cork bark that it was able to burrow underneath, and it made itself comfortable. I've got a small tattoo ink pot water dish, a little bit of moss there in one corner, and it actually kind of put it all over there because I sprinkled moss everywhere. And so I dampen the moss every once in a while. I see it moving around down there in its burrow, but I don't know if it's interested in the food. But anyway, I dampen this moss at least once a week and fill a water dish when I feel like it needs it. Not sure if we're going to see much out of this one besides that, but this was, like I said, just kind of a keeper's notes type of video on this tarantula, since there's not many of them out there. Not a lot is known about them. It got quite secretive for several weeks, and I was afraid it was going to be one of those species. But like I said, in the last week, a hole broke in this here. In the last few days, there was front legs sticking out of along here. And of course, as soon as you hit it with light, within 3 seconds, it sucked it back in underneath there. And I looked in today, and this little bastard was out wandering around. And now all of a sudden, I've scared it back in its hole, where we're probably not going to see it again. But that was the very rare Bonnetina cyaneifemur, or Mexican Blue Femur. Hopefully we'll get more view of it as it gets older. I'm going to leave that mealworm in there and look back in a few minutes. So that has been my experience so far with this tarantula. So all of you out there that have them, compare notes with me, write stuff down that I've said, and let's figure out how to keep these guys so that the next generation of keepers will know, our trade secrets, basically. That's why I want to do these kind of videos, is just kind of educate people, especially on ones like this. Sorry we didn't get to see much of it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, as always, give me a thumbs up and a comment. As always, if you didn't enjoy it, give me a thumbs down and a comment. If you have not subscribed, please do that. I have a giveaway coming up, so spread the word on that. I love all you guys. I appreciate your views and your comments. Don't forget to take care of yourselves and each other. Hope you all have a great day, afternoon, night, wherever you are. Take care. God bless.